What's going on, guys? Sticks here with the Token Minorities, bringing you another deck on Pokemon TCGO, and today I am bringing you a very cool deck that I found online centered around the combination of Silvally-GX and Xerneas BREAK. This will be, I believe, part 7 of the many types of Silvally series. And before I get into the deck, just a reminder that if you guys like this video or found it helpful, please leave a like, drop a comment, click that subscribe button, helps us out a ton, and let's do more cool stuff for you guys. And as for the question of the day, I was going to say, if you're new to the channel, please feel free to check out our Discord. It will be linked in the description. Here at TTM, we are a collaborative channel, and so there's not just the TCG content that you see in this video, but we also have Draft League content and occasional Smogon content or other content from Maddie Brawlick. So there is all of that, and then also on the Discord we have channels for all those different facets of Pokemon, so please feel free to check that out if you have not done so already. And then now to the question of the day. I was just thinking about Xerneas when I first heard of that way back. This was 4 years ago, I think? Yeah, just over 4 years ago. Actually over 4 years ago, when leaks were happening with X and Y, where they were showing us, where we had not even learned about the fairy type yet. They were just showing us that, okay, there is going to be, these are the legendary Pokemon, and they showed us Yveltal and Xerneas. And there was a lot of speculation going on that obviously Yveltal was a dark type. I mean, there was literally no question as to what type Yveltal's main type would be, because, I mean, it's very dark. And yeah, I mean, Yveltal was very obviously a dark type. And then Xerneas as its counterpart, people were thinking, okay, well, what could the counterpart to Yveltal be? Or what could the counterpart to a dark legendary be? And there was all this hype about a new type being created. And so my question of the day is, what was the coolest theory that you heard about the potential typing for Xerneas that you believed but unfortunately ended up being wrong? You could just even say, like, if you knew that it was going to be fairy type, you can say that. But I think the coolest fan theory that I heard as to what type Xerneas would be light. Now, there was potential for a sound type, but I didn't think that they would do that, as there was already like sound-based moves and there was an ability soundproof. And so I really didn't think that they would do something like that for a specific type. I did, however, believe that Xerneas would be a light type. I believed that that was going to be the new typing that would be introduced into the game. And my reasoning for that was because not only would light be the counterpart to dark and it'd create a perfect dichotomy, but also Pokemon has done stuff with light in the past with the light Pokemon. I don't even remember when exactly that was. I think it was Gen 2. I don't remember exactly. It could have been Gen 1 as well, because I know there were dark Gen 1. So it might have been Gen 1. Maybe Gen 2 with the TCG, where they had like light Pokemon, like Light Golduck. I remember was one card that I had. And so I believed that Xerneas was going to be a light Pokemon, and it made a lot of sense. But when it came out as fairy, I was like, oh, well, that makes sense too. So yeah, what were the coolest theories that you heard about potential typing for Xerneas and the potential new typing introduced in the game? Let me know in the comment section down below. I would love to hear what you guys heard about the potential typing for the new Pokemon. But anyway, onto the deck. Like I said, this is centered around the combination of Silvally-GX and Xerneas BREAK. And on the surface, when I first saw this deck list, I was like, okay, this deck is a nightmare synergistically, because, I mean, not Yveltal, that's literally the only thing that's not in this deck. Silvally gives retreat to basic Pokemon, and that's normally what you pair it with, a strong basic Pokemon that hits hard. Well, Xerneas BREAK is not a basic Pokemon, so it can't take advantage of the free retreat from Silvally. And then additionally, Xerneas BREAK really relies on outward, or I guess non-discard acceleration for its energy. It usually relies on Geomancying and Max Elixirs. Like discard pile acceleration is not something that you normally see with Xerneas BREAK. So just the fact that those two did not inherently go together, I was very, very skeptical of it. I was like, why? Why is this a deck idea? But then I created the deck list and obviously altered it from what I saw. I'll link it in the description if I did not say that already. I realized that, you know what, there's some potential. I mean, the reason that the person that originally had this deck idea wanted to put these two together was because Xerneas searches out and accelerates energy from the deck, whereas Silvally accelerates energy from the discard pile. So, I mean, obviously there's a little bit of synergy there. However, I mean, you can say that about a lot of different Pokemon, not just Xerneas Break. But then I got to thinking about what Xerneas Break can do. Well, it works a lot better with DCEs and getting a ton of energy on the board. Well, Silvally works with DCEs, just it functions and attacks off of DCEs, but also can accelerate energy in its own right, so you can attach to Silvally and Xerneas like evenly, and it powers both of them up very well. So I was like, you know what, let's just go ahead and give this a try, and it ended up working surprisingly well. Yes, you don't get the free retreat with Xerneas Break once you evolve into that, but when it's just a baby Xerneas, or if you put like Oranguru up or something like that, they still get free retreat from Silvally, and then also you have Fairy Garden. So the free retreat is less of an issue than I thought it would be, but also it really did work out, because I'm attaching energy to Silvally, powering up Xerneas. I can attack with Silvally when Xerneas is threatened of being KO'd. I have two very bulky, I have a non-EX or GX attacker to take on like Safeguard Pokemon like Hoopa and Alolan Ninetales. I have energy acceleration from the deck, energy acceleration from the discard pile, and it really became very fun. But I was like, you know what? These aren't two things that you normally see together, but screw it. Let's put them together and see if we can have some fun with it, and this is actually a very fun deck. So I'm just going to go straight through the mons, because I mean, it's a very straightforward deck. Get a bunch of energy on board. If you need it from the deck, use Baby Xerneas. If you need it from the discard pile, use Silvally, and go from there. One Oranguru for extra draw support, as this deck can be somewhat susceptible to ends late game and could potentially be dangerous, although you do have energy acceleration regardless. However, Oranguru is is a basic Pokemon, actually, that, well, obviously you knew it was a basic Pokemon, is a basic Pokemon that you can constantly have on the board, and is something that you can put up into the active that can free retreat with Silvally, to where you're not having to put up something that doesn't have free retreat. So it's a nice little tech card that works very well with the Silvally being able to just free retreat regardless and still have the ability to draw a couple extra cards if you need it. 3/3 of Type Null and Silvally, as Silvally is one of the main cards in this deck. 4/3 of Xerneas and Xerneas Break, because Xerneas is the main attacker, or Xerneas Break is the main attacker, and normally we have one Xerneas that we just put up there in Geomancy until we feel comfortable, or Geomancy until it dies, one of the two. And so that's why we only need 4/3 of each of those. 2 Lele, because Lele into Brigette is the optimal first turn for this deck, but we also don't want to load up on too many Lele. 1 Field Blower, because Choice Bands and Garbodor are annoying, but not essential to get rid of. 4 Max Elixir to help out with the energy acceleration. 1 Rescue Stretcher as our method of recursion, as we do have Silvally to get energy out of the discard pile. 4 Ultra Ball to guarantee get the mons we want when we want them. 2 Fairy Gardens for that free retreat, like I mentioned before, so that we don't have to worry about the lack of synergy between a Break and Silvally's ability. And then 2 Brigette, because this deck really likes having multiple mons on board immediately, because if you don't have at least 2 mons on board and you go second, Geomancying will be very ineffective. In fact, it'll get half of its effectiveness, and that 1 extra energy actually does make a big difference. So being able to get at least 2 mons on your bench in the first turn is very important for this deck. But then from there, you have my typical 4-3-3-3 line of Cynthia, Guzma, and Sycamore, just because I'm comfortable with it. 3 Choice Band and 2 Psychic Memories. Once again, 2 Psychic Memories. They're just kind of my default with Silvally because of Buzzwole and just being able to one-shot that thing. Zoroark we're able to handle relatively well with Xerneas Break, but if you feel like Zoroark's too big of a threat, then you can definitely tech in a Fighting Memory. But I just feel like Xerneas takes on Zoroark Break, or not Zoroark Break, but Zoroark GX well enough to where you don't have to worry about it all that much, as it does resist, it cannot get OHKO'd by it, etc., etc. And then as for the energy, 3 DCE and 10 Fairy, so we can, statistically speaking, hit Max Elixir whenever we play it. And then the 3 DCE, I could run 4, but, I mean, I just preferred to have that 1 extra Fairy Energy for the Max Elixir. So, yeah, that's the deck. Let's just go ahead and see this deck in action. Alrighty, we have found another one against a... Well, not another one, we found a first one. Sorry, it was on autopilot right there. Against Magnus Profanus. Guys, I've been playing too much lately. I'm losing my mind, and it's official this time. But we found a single game against Magnus Profanus with, looks like we're up against a Honestly, not sure. It looks like we are up against an Ultra Necrozma deck. Actually, I'm pretty sure that it's Ultra Necrozma. And I start off, I mean, I mulligan, but I start off with a very good hand regardless. Because, I mean, I have a couple Xerneases, Xernei, a type Null, and then an Energy as well as a Lele. Wait, no, what? This isn't Ultra Necrozma. What's the dragon? Because I saw the dragon, I saw a Psychic, and then I saw a Metal, and I just kind of disregarded the Metal, but I guess... What could this be? Because, I mean, we see the Solgaleo Prism Star, so it's obviously a Metal deck, which is actually... It went from a good matchup for us to a very bad matchup. I'm not sure... So we see Solgaleo. What could the... Okay, so this is Solgaleo, Dusk Mane, Necrozma, and Magnezone. Is the dragon must be... The dragon must be Dialga. That's got to be what it is, because I don't think... Well, unless it's... Actually, no, it wouldn't even make sense to be Ultra Necrozma, because Ultra Necrozma requires you discarding the Psychic energy, not the Metal energy, so you want to attach a bunch per turn. So, yeah, I think it has to be the Dialga that's the last... Or that's the dragon type in that deck. My opponent gets a very good start. 2 Magnemite, a Dusk Mane. What I'm going to do is attach an energy up my Xerneas, and then let's Lele for a Sycamore, I think. Because I don't mind energy going into the discard pile, because I can always just attack with my... I can always just Turbo Drive with Silvally in order to get that energy back. So let's just Sycamore, see what else we can get. I get a Fairy Garden. First things first, let's Ultra Ball. I really don't need to do anything this turn. Or I really don't need to do anything this coming turn. Let's Ultra Ball grab... I could grab Silvally, but I could also grab Oranguru. Let's grab Silvally. That way I have the free retreat, and then I'm just going to take this time to start powering up stuff. Just getting a lot of energy on board that I need for certain KOs. So let's go ahead, yeah, get a couple energy. 1 energy onto the type Null, 1 energy onto the Xerneas, and then next turn I can just... evolve into Silvally, attach the DCE, and go from there. So my opponent does get a Magneton up, and Choice Band onto the Dusk Mane. That's really not going to make a big difference at all. Actually, it's not going to make any difference at all, because Dusk Mane will either be able to... He has to go for a Meteor Tempest or its GX attack to one-shot my Xerneas Break regardless, just because of that 150 HP that Xerneas Break has. And then Meteor Tempest knocks out my Silvally in one hit anyway. So yeah, the Choice Band on his Dusk Mane is not going to do much at all. And what I could do here... So the Solgaleo Prism Star is starting to get a bunch of energy on it, but that thing isn't that big of a threat. So what I'm going to go ahead and do... I mean, the Dusk Mane is what's the biggest threat, because the Solgaleo can't attack the turn after it goes for 160 damage. And then it's not going to one-shot my Silvally anyway. So what I can do is just go ahead and bring up that Dusk Mane like I did and knock it out with a Rebel GX, because Dusk Mane is going to be the big problem. He does get a Magnezone right here, so he's going to be able to attach a bunch of energy in one turn. I mean, it was only a matter of time before he got a Magnezone. I mean, he was even somewhat slow. I mean, just Magnemite into Magneton into Magnezone, very traditional in terms of how he was able to get a Magnezone up. So, I mean, that's fine with me. Gets him out. Coronet's not going to help me a whole lot. I was kind of waiting to play my Fairy Garden until my opponent either went for a Field Blower or played their own Stadium, but now that they played their own Stadium, I can start playing down my Fairy Garden to counter that, get rid of that, all of the above. Yeah, he's just going to go ahead and Lele for an N, put me down to 4 cards. Honestly, that's okay with me, because my hand was like okay, but not the best, and this hand is actually significantly better, because what I can do is just Max Elixir onto one of my Xerneas, and then Sycamore away my hand. Then he's going to Corona Impact. It's not going to one-shot me, and I don't even have to worry about his Solgaleo attacking next turn. So yeah, the extra damage does suck a little bit, but it's not really the end of the world. So what I'm going to do, go ahead and go for the Max Elixir. I whiff it, and I could Sycamore. Well, I mean, I could bridge it. I'm going to Sycamore. I could have bridgeted to get a couple more Xerneas out and the Oranguru, but I mean, I get the Oranguru anyway. And a Max Elixir, missed another one, unfortunate, and then can I hit this one? There we go. Okay, that's better. Let's go ahead and play that onto my Xerneas, and then energy up. Let's energy up the Oranguru, actually, because then it can... Yeah, it can do a lot of damage to a fully powered up Dusk Mane, and also it can finish off this Solgaleo if I need to. So basically, if I just need a non-Xerneas or Silvally attacker, Oranguru can do just fine. He does counter my stadium, but at least I'm forcing him to use up his stadiums at this point. The damage has been done to my Silvally, but at the same time, he can't just one-hit knock it out. Yeah, I have 8 energy on board. With a Choice Band, I will be able to one-shot his Dusk Mane. And so I think that's just what I'm going to continually do. Just continually target down those Dusk Manes. Because as long as those things don't get powered up, my Xerneases will be relatively safe, and same thing with my Silvally. So he is actually going to be able to fully power up a Dusk Mane. And then at this point, it's a fine line between keeping energy on board, but still making the right attack and going for the right attack for a given situation. So he's going to bring up his Solgaleo, probably just go for a Claw Slash, I would think. Yeah, because I mean that'll definitely be enough to knock me out. I mean that's the right play. Yeah, goes for a Claw Slash, knocks out my Silvally. Now he takes 2 prizes, and this is where it gets tricky. So I'm going to go ahead and promote... Actually, you know what? Because I don't have free retreat anymore, I'm just going to promote this Xerneas and then pray that I draw into the right stuff. So I actually top deck into the Xerneas Break. And I need a DCE in order to be able to knock out this... Dusk Mane. So I don't get the DCE. But what I do get... Can I hit this? Yes, I do. So I hit it. That's 6. That's 1... Wait, that's not even close. Let's get a Xerneas Break. This is 150. This is 150. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's go ahead and get a type null. Or no, let's grab another Xerneas, actually. Yeah, let's grab another Xerneas, because I have a... I can always just grab my type null out of my discard pile, and I want to continually get the Xernei in order to be able to continually... stream knockout. So I need a DCE now. I got the Max Elixir, I need the DCE, and I get it. That was an amazing top deck for me. Just being able to get that, play it down. I now have enough damage with the Choice Band to one-shot this Solgaleo. Yeah, he'll be able to... Or this Dusk Mane. I keep looking at the Solgaleo, and I keep calling Dusk Mane Solgaleo. But with that DCE, that was a very, very fortunate top deck for me, able to knock out that Dusk Mane. He is able to go into his Solgaleo and knock out my Xerneas, but that's just 2 energy off the board, and I do have multiple backup attackers ready to be able to finish off this Solgaleo, and then all I have to do is just knock out... All I have to do is just take 1 more prize, and I should be able to win the game after I knock out this Solgaleo. So it's a matter of, he's going to go ahead and Super Rod back in the Dusk Manes. I mean, that makes sense. Those are his ways of being able to... knock me out. He's going to Magnetic Circuit. Okay, as long as he keeps powering up the Lele, I'm okay with that. Because the Lele powered up is not going to be as scary as a Solgaleo or a Dusk Mane. So the more energy that goes onto the Lele, the better it is for me, I actually think. So... this coming turn, he'll be able to knock me out. Yeah, there's the Corona Impact. It's going to knock me out. That is fine. What I can do... What do I want to promote? So I don't have free retreat right now. But I could try to bank off a Silvally or a Fairy Garden. So what I'm actually going to do is promote my Lele. No. You know what? I just have to... I'm playing it safe, just knowing that I have a knockout on this Solgaleo next turn, and I should have just gone for the basic Pokemon, because now I don't have the free retreat because I don't have a basic active. And yeah, I should have gone for the risky play. I went for the safe play, and it's probably going to bite me back. Yeah, it does. So now my Xerneas is not safe. I cannot get another energy on board. Let's see if I can please get a Fairy Garden. No, I do not. So yeah, that was completely my fault. I should have known that I had better outs, or that I would have been likely able to draw into one, but I don't know. I still somewhat stand by my play, because now he needs a Dusk Mane and 3 energy in order to knock out... Actually, no, he just needs a Dusk Mane. Well, there's the energy because he has the Mount Core in it. Yeah, but that's all he needed in order to knock me out. So that was... Yeah, I wish I had gone for... Actually, no, Silvally still would have been knocked out this turn anyway. Because... Yeah, Silvally still would have been knocked out this turn. Because of him more than likely being able to... Well, actually, he can just use his GX attack on his Dusk Mane. So, yeah, I mean, Silvally would have gone down, and that's even more energy that's off the board. So, what I have to do this coming turn... actually, crap, because he is just... After knocking out my Xerneas... He's going to be just a Guzma away from winning the game, and I can't even put up a Lele or a Silvally because both of those things will be knocked out. So I'll probably have to put up my Oranguru in attack if I don't get something that I can work with. So yeah, this is starting to get kind of sketchy. Luckily, I am low in my deck, so that means that the stuff that I have will be... I'm more likely to draw the stuff that I need, because really all I need right now is a Guzma to bring up that Oranguru and win the game. But regardless, the fact that we're able to go up against a deck that has super effective coverage against us, and, well, a deck that's actually known. I mean, Solgaleo, I keep saying that. Dusk Mane and Magnezone is a known deck. This is not at all. And actually, I top deck right into the Guzma. I mean, that's phenomenal. That was all that I could ask for. Let's just go ahead and DC up the Oranguru, because why the heck not? And then Guzma up the opponent's Oranguru, go into my Silvally, and then knock that thing out with a Turbo Drive. So, yeah, I'll be honest, I did get very fortunate on these top decks in this game. Like, that was no two ways about it. I got very fortunate. I'll just say it. I got lucky. I'm not gonna say that like I didn't get lucky, but I did get lucky off of some of the top decks in this game. Like that one turn where I was able to hit a Max Elixir and get a DCE in the same turn. That was phenomenal. That allowed me to knock out the Dusk Mane. And then that last turn where I simply just drew right into the Oranguru, or the Guzma, to bring up the Oranguru and win the game. So, yeah, that was a very cool game one. I mean, there's definitely stuff about this deck that's clunky and doesn't go together synergistically as well. But it's still, I mean, I'm still really enjoying this deck. So let's go ahead and try to find another one. Alrighty, now we've got another one against Arzet with a, looks like a Garchomp deck, so that'll be pretty interesting to go up against. I mean, we'll have the type advantage, so we should be relatively good to go. Yes, I would like to go first, but that being said, actually he could be running both type. I mean, we did see the dragon, so I'm assuming he's running the dragon Garchomp, but he could be running a couple of the fighting types as well, which would be significantly more difficult to deal with. We do start off with a Xerneas, and okay, let's go ahead and choice band it up. Fairy Garden, and then let's Cynthia away. I need to get a couple more Mons in play. Get a type Null, which is very nice, so let's go ahead and do that. Max Elixir, I do hit it. And next turn, that's actually a very good first turn. What I can do next turn is simply Lele into a Brigette for like 2 Xerneas and an Oranguru, or a Xerneas and Oranguru and maybe another type Null if I feel like 2 Silvally is what I'm going to need this game. But my opponent does Mysterious Treasure for a Tapu Lele. That's okay with me. I mean, I think that obviously it's okay with me. But yeah, I mean, as long as I can just continually take down the Gibbles, I should be okay. I mean, just the Garchomps are the only way that he's going to be able to really beat me. And he runs Max Elixir. Runs Max Elixir in a Garchomp deck. I mean, I guess that's one way to counteract the fact that Garchomp needs 2 attachments in order to be able to attack, but I don't know. Not a fan of Max Elixir in a Garchomp deck. I feel like it would be much better to run an experience share, because you're already hitting for like 200 damage. But what I can do right here is Ultra Ball, get rid of the Lele, go ahead and grab a Xerneas Break, because what I can do now is just go ahead and take out this Gibble. I mean, yeah, he has 2, but this Gibble can turn into a Garchomp next turn. But yeah, let's go ahead and first things first, get rid of that. Let's Ultra Ball, get rid of the type Null and the N, maybe? Or do I want to get rid of the Fairy? Let's get rid of the Fairy, because I can always get that back with Silvally later. And then let's grab another Xerneas, play down the Oranguru, and then let's Max Elixir, see if we can hit that. Yes, we do. Let's start powering up another Xerneas, and then Oranguru. So, I mean, I could definitely power up my Mons a little bit more, but I think that going for Life Stream and just taking out these Gible as they come out will definitely be the best option for going about taking out this deck, because as long as I'm able to just keep those things dead, and as long as I keep those things dead, me is good at English, but as long as I can keep knocking those things out, I'll be fine. Because Lele, like I said in the last game, is kind of a threat. It's kind of annoying, but it's not going to be one-shotting anything. And yeah, worst case scenario, I just keep trying to take out, or I just try to have to deal with the Lele. Wow, I am Englishing very hard right now. I can just deal with the Lele later if I need, once I get more energy on the board. So for the time being, let's just take out some Garchomps and then just try to get as much energy on the board as possible. That way, if I have to deal with Lele, then I can. He does end me out of that hand. That's honestly okay. Actually, it's even better than okay, because I just get end into a bunch of Guzmas, and he's going to be able to hit me for 100 damage. That's a little bit annoying, but it's not the end of the world, especially because I get another Xerneas break. So let's go ahead and evolve this one into a Xerneas break. Attachi Energy. Is there anything that I want in the discard pile? Actually, kind of, yeah. I kind of want the other type Null. Do I want to go for it right now? Yeah, you know what? Let's just go ahead and do that. Or do I want to shuffle it in my deck as well to the Lele? Now let's just go ahead and grab the other type Null, get that thing down, just have another target that I can put energy onto, and then let's bring up that Garchomp, because again, more I knock out Garchomp, the easier this game will be for me. And yeah, we are able to take that thing out, get a Brigette. That's not going to help me a whole lot. But yeah, now the Lele is starting to get a little bit annoying, because it can just keep my Xerneas in range of getting knocked out. Like, it just can keep doing 100 damage each turn. Slowly that's going to build up. I mean, slowly that's eventually going to knock out. That's going to knock out a Xerneas. So I need to keep getting attachments. I need to keep building up my board. I still have my GX attack to knock out the Lele in the event that I need to. But he's going to Ultra Ball, grab another Gible. But I think at this point I should be okay. I can always just attack the Lele if I need to. If I can get a DCE this coming turn, then I will simply be able to knock out the Lele in one hit with Life Stream. But yeah, he does just hit me, and the question is, do I want to go for that DCE and the knockout on the Lele, or do I just want to take out the Garchomp again? Or I just want to try to take out the Garchomp? I'm going to go for the Lele DC, or the DCE. Unfortunately, I do not get it, but what I can try to do, let's Ultra Ball, get rid of both ends, I think, to grab another Xerneas. Now, let's do that to grab another Xerneas. Play that down. Screw it. Let's just play the energy on it, I think. And then let's Oranguru for two more. Not particularly helpful, but let's just get the Psychic Memory out of there. And then instead of attacking the Lele, what I'm going to go ahead and do is actually just spend this turn Geomancying, get more energy on the board, so that I can... Yeah, get more energy on the board so that I can just continually Life Stream. Then if he knocks out this Xerneas, then I still have netted 1 energy, which should be good enough, because right now I have 8 energy on the board and I haven't even played any of my DCEs yet. Like, the mons that need DCEs don't have them attached yet. And he does play down a Garchomp. It is the Fighting Garchomp. That's bad. And a Counter Catcher, so he doesn't even have to... Yeah, this is not looking good, because he is just able to bring up my very damaged Xerneas break with the Choice Band, because otherwise I would have been able to just retreat and knock out the Lele this coming turn. But now that is no longer an option, because he was able to Counter Catcher up, and he's going to get another Garchomp. Don't be another Fighting, because if it's another Fighting, that's going to be very bad. Luckily, no, it is a Dragon, so that's a lot easier to deal with, because I am able to hit it super effectively with Xerneas break. Then he's going to shuffle that line back into the deck. Yeah, so I mean, even though I feel like I'm very ahead This is starting to look pretty sketchy, actually. Gets a DCE onto the Garchomp, energy drives, knocks out my Xerneas Break, which is annoying, but I mean, now I have free retreat, so I can just... I only have 6 on board, so I'm just going to promote the Oranguru because I do have the free retreat thanks to my Silvally. And I even get another Silvally, so that's pretty nice. Able to get that Xerneas Break up, evolve into Silvally, and then Cynthia for a fresh hand, see what I can get. No Fairy Energy, but what I can do, DCE up this Silvally, and then I think I actually want to take a knockout on... I actually think I just want to take a knockout on the Lele with... I might just use my GX attack at this point to get 2 prizes. Because there's not enough... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, there's not quite enough. If I had the Choice Band, I'd be able to knock the Lele out with Lifestream. But they're just... Yeah, 8. There's not enough. Just plain and simple, there's not enough. I have to go into... Do I want to Geomancy again? But I've used up so much energy. I have to go into Silvally, and I have to go for the Rebel GX, because this Lele has done enough work. I want to take my 2 prizes and go from there. So there's another DCE. Garchomp will be able to come in, and with the Lucario, he will be able to Royal Blades for 400 damage, knock out my Silvally, and then I'm forced to respond. So he's gonna have to go, well, he has to go for the Cynthia, so luckily my hand is safe if he wanted to knock me out, which he did. Then Field Blower is gonna get rid of my Fairy Garden and my Psychic Drive, but that's fine because at this point I do have another Silvally set up, so Oranguru does have free retreat. And so what I can do is just put Oranguru active, I think, and then go from there. So let's see. I have 7. I will need to hit I think I need to hit this Max Elixir to win the game. Like, I know that it still looks like mid-game, but I think I need to hit this Max Elixir in order to have a shot at winning. So I get another Psychic Memory, that's not a big deal. I'll just play that onto my Silvally just because. DCE is going to have to come down anyway, and like I think the game comes down to whether I can hit this, and I do hit this. That was huge. So what I'm now able to do is attach the energy to my Oranguru, and then one-shot the Garchomp. Do I want to attach to Oranguru, or do I want to attach to Silvally? No, let's attach to Oranguru, and then I could bridge it, actually. Do I want to Lifestream? Or do I want to bridge it? Let's go ahead and bridge it, actually, to get stuff out of the deck. Let's just go ahead and play down the Xerneas and the type Null just to get those out of the deck. And then Lifestream knock out the Garchomp that way. If he does take a knockout on me, I do have a spot. I will have a spot on my bench for a Tapu Lele. And if he doesn't knock me out and he doesn't give me a free bench spot, well, then, I mean, that's still just fine for me. Because that means that I'm able to... still attack, and my opponent wasn't able to take a prize, so I think... Yeah, I think hitting that Max Elixir actually won me the game right there. Just getting that 1 extra energy on board gave me the extra damage that I needed in order to knock out his fighting Garchomp. Because if it had been his Fairy Garchomp, wouldn't have been as big a deal. But because it was his fighting Garchomp, then I think... Yeah, I think that was the game. So my opponent has to go... Okay, so I think my opponent's going to Precognitive Aura for a DCE. Because that's what he needs to knock out my Xerneas. And really, whatever else he tries... If he tries to, like... I mean, he has to knock out the Xerneas. He can't go into anything else. He goes into his Oranguru. Then Guzma's. Guzma's not my type Null. What was he doing? That was not the play. You needed... Like, you really had to knock out my Xerneas. Yeah, you had to knock out my Xerneas with a... with going for a DCE, so let's just attach one more DCE for even more damage, and then hit the Garchomp for 400 damage, and we are able to take the win. So, I mean, my opponent played well the entire game, but that last play really just puzzled me. That was not the play at all. I had the Silvally for the free retreat, so there's no way he could stall me. He had to go for a DCE and knock out my Xerneas Break, with his Garchomp and then just pray that I didn't have a Guzma. I mean, which I did. I would have been able to Lele for a Guzma. But still, that was not the play that he should have gone for to try to pull out the game or to try to stall out to where he could get a Garchomp powered up. But regardless, we do take those. This was a very fun deck. Like I said, synergistically, it's not the greatest, but it was still very, very fun to use. And I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. And this is Styx signing out. Why not? See you guys.